They are not allowed in North Carolina, but legislators are learning about online virtual public schools. We're not talking about one single course you might take online. How about every course being taught via computer? Students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade would connect to their cyber classroom, but a human teacher, and work using digital chalkboards, webcams, and the internet.
Where does the school or these online learners stand with their testing with Common Core as in relevance to the rest of their peers?
Representative Brandon, so Common Core is just rolling out in different states, and so our curriculum is aligned to the Common Core, and the students will sit for the Common Core assessments. Typically, our students do fairly well on academic growth models, and there are most states, as part of their No Child Left Behind waivers, have academic growth as one of their components. Our schools typically do pretty well on academic growth because our students are coming in below. We still struggle around or right below state averages on proficiency, again, because of the way the students are coming in. We do fairly well on the growth, though.
Republican leaders have passed laws changing public education in North Carolina, but they've not reached into the cyber world. They have questions about students sitting alone at a computer for several hours a day. They want to know about student support, which would come in part from an engaged parent or caretaker in the home. The virtual public school would supply the families their classroom supplies, but that in-home motivation appears to be a key ingredient, especially at those younger grades.
What if the parent, let us say, doesn't want to, or arguably maybe doesn't feel qualified to do it? Do you folks who are providing the online course make arrangements to provide a learning coach that is paid by somebody? How do you make up for the absence of the volunteer in the home?
Representative Blackwell, we typically do not make up for the absence of the loving adult in the home. Particularly in the lower grade levels, we are very honest with parents on the front end that this is a choice and that it does require the involvement of a parent.
Other states have already approved some online public school options, including using local school districts to offer in virtual education. But for North Carolina, it's still an exercise in thinking out loud. What's being discussed today could be policy tomorrow. Mary Gifford represents K12 Inc., which is private company public school. How does that work? Because that's a new thing in North Carolina, potentially.
So yes, we are a publicly traded company, and we serve schools in about 43 different states, and we partner with nonprofit charter boards and with school districts, and so that is the public entity, and we really can provide a whole range of services from curriculum, online curriculum, all the way up through turnkey solutions where we would hire, supervise, train, and manage everything. So it really is whatever that local nonprofit partner or the public school district would like, we can deliver it up.
Well, you flew right into the heart of Raleigh to talk directly with state education leaders. Now, you have heard in North Carolina that this debate over public schools and using private companies for public education has been controversial.
Yes, sir.
How is it nationwide? Are policymakers a little tense about going this direction at times?
It really varies. Some of the states have been more open to this. There are some states that even permit for-profit entities to hold charters. And so there are a few states that are that open about it. Generally, if you do a good job, people will have an okay tolerance for whatever your organizational structure is. And so I think really the best way we can get past this in any state is to run good schools and to produce good results and to be compliant. And they will get past the fact that someone may be making profit. For instance, you know, they don't have a problem with textbook companies or the companies that are selling tests to every state. They're all for-profit companies. You hear about the for-profit nature of them when they're not doing things well. So our job's to do it well.
Well, let's talk about this potential option, not here in North Carolina just yet, but I could enroll a kindergartner through, I guess, high school, and it's a virtual public school, so does that mean there is no campus at all?
There usually is not a campus. In some places there are drop-in learning centers where kids may come if they want to, but it's not required attendance. But generally, yes, the students are schooling from their home or in groups of students, like cooperatives and in groups of kids in a neighborhood. But generally they're schooling from their home, and they could do it in grades K through 12. And it really is a lifestyle choice, and so the family needs to be committed to this. But if they're committed, it's very rewarding, and it can be very well done.
What is a day like if you attend a charter school? Is it 8 hours in front of the computer?
We would hope that students are not spending 8 straight hours in front of a computer. In most states, about 6 hours of instructional time is what's required if you take out all the passing time and things like that. At the lower grade levels, we really want them in traditional materials. We want the little kids touching phonics tiles. We want them putting their hands on the lab equipment and building clay, the moon surface with clay as part of their science experiments. And so we really want them in the materials and online. We want them touching novels and reading novels. So it's a mix. The online school drives the instruction and delivers up the curriculum. The teachers bring it to life through their daily instruction with the students. And then the students complete their online work.
Who maintains the discipline? Who makes sure my kid pays attention to the online computer course?
So the teachers get data real time, as could a learning coach. If I'm the parent and I'm the learning coach, I can see what the teacher sees.
So a parent or someone who would want to sit with the child would be the teacher's assistant.
We would hope that they would have that. Specifically at the lower grade levels, we think students need supervision. But as they get a little bit older, the role of that parent or that learning coach really is more tailored to what the kid needs, but the teacher role really increases. And so the teachers are looking at data real time. They conduct real-time classrooms daily, and the students need to attend the teacher presentation. And the teachers can see all of that. And so the teachers are responsible for getting them engaged. We have counselors and advisors who also help with that. And it's, calls to kids, calls to parents. We find them on Facebook. We'll do whatever we can to get those kids engaged.
All through the computer. So is it videos? Is it someone typing at the student in a text box?
If you think about, like, if you've attended a web-based meeting where you're sitting in your office at your desk and there's a web-based meeting going on and there are people all over the country participating in a meeting through the web. Every teacher has a web-based classroom. And so in real time, I could say, you had problems with polynomials. I saw that you failed the quiz. Meet me in my web-based classroom and I'm going to talk polynomials with you. And I would actually have a whiteboard in there. I have tools. I can give you the power to control the whiteboard so you can show me your work and I can see where it's breaking down. And so it really is, it brings it to life at one-on-one in an individualized way.
How do you keep me from checking out the other websites, from Googling, from putting a game in the side, playing Minesweeper or something like that? Can the teacher correct you and control your computer to make you pay attention?
So if we provide the computers to the families, which we usually do for low-income families, we put a lot of filters on them. Kids are still very crafty, but that's part of the teacher's job. The teachers are trained how to look for those things and how to keep the kids on task. It's classroom management of a different style. I'm not getting the gum out of somebody's hair. I'm worried about whether or not they're engaged in the right things on the computer.
Well, you presented to the legislators. They had some questions for you about the logistics of it. We hammered those out here. But parents out there, it's not here yet. It's just in theory.
Correct.
Mary Gifford, thank you so much for being on our show tonight and explaining this.
Thank you.